Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Heather Hardy says that HBO will not televise her championship fight on the Daniel Jacobs-Sergey Derevyanchenko card. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I had to make a video. New media, we like to stand up for sometimes the people in the minority who don't always get looked after in this grueling sport called boxing. Now, I came across this. Eddie Hearn, he's promoting the Daniel Jacobs-Sergey Derevyanchenko IBF middleweight fight, which will be on HBO. Daniel Jacobs has a contract with HBO. And I came across this. We'll start with Eddie Hearn's, what he had to say. Eddie Hearn on his verified Twitter, he says, "Our world championship triple header now on sale," and he posted the link. Danny Jacobs, Sergey Derevyanchenko, IBF welterweight or middleweight title, Machado versus Evans WBA junior lightweight title, and Heather Hardy versus her opponent WBA featherweight title, right? And Heather Hardy corrected him and said this: "It's actually not a triple header and shouldn't be advertised as such, because HBO Boxing is only showing 2 fights. Apparently the third world title fight isn't as important. So disappointing. It's 2018. And then she tagged her opponent, her promoter, Lou DiBella, right? And I posted my thoughts. You can follow me on Boxing Ego, and I'm just gonna read it so I don't, just so it's my thoughts are as follows. I said, Eddie Hearn posted about a triple header. Heather Hardy responded saying it's not a triple header since HBO is not going to televise her world championship fight and is only showing the men's main event and male co-main event. Wow. Women in the fight game get no respect. Shit pay for bouts, politics, no coverage, no exposure. This is sad. First, it took HBO 45 years to even televise a female boxing match. And that curse was only broken this year on Cinco de Mayo weekend with Cecilia Brækhus on the Gennady Golovkin versus Vanes Martirosyan card. And it was a good fight that did good ratings, damn near better than the main event with Golovkin and Vanes, LOL, especially considering the competitiveness of that particular fight. Now HBO won't let a warrior like Heather Hardy get some shine. HBO Sports must have some really primitive, insecure, frigid beta males working behind the scenes. This ain't the 1900s, and what's worse is that HBO's boxing calendar has been flat as hell for their regular HBO non-pay-per-view schedule. They are getting crushed by Showtime and ESPN. They should be trying to air all of the fights they can, not excluding them. This Hardy fight also has a backstory, as it's a rematch to their 2016 first fight where Hardy won a close majority decision over Shelly Vincent. That's who she's fighting again. Plus, when Heather Hardy went over to the MMA on a Bellator card, Vincent pulled up on her at the weigh-in looking for all the smoke. So it's not like the fight needs much building up. HBO could have easily highlighted and shown a few clips from their first encounter, their first fight, and the Bellator confrontation to get boxing fans interested. Like this post if you want to see Heather Hardy's championship fight also aired as a triple header on the Daniel Jacobs-Sergey Derevyanchenko card. You already got the camera crew there. HBO equals hating bitches only. And then I tagged HBO. I said, you gotta do something, baby. New media is out for justice. Let's let these ladies get some shine too, you sexist fucks with suits on. You ain't willing to lace them up, so let us see the women do it too, not just the men. I don't care what anyone gotta say that disagree with me. Don't at me. Fuck you and fuck everybody that got a problem with Mike Lowry. I'm out. Hashtag we working. Hashtag PSA. Hashtag yeah, I said it. Man, this is ridiculous, man. Like, I love boxing. I love the sport of boxing. Women's boxing has an opportunity here, right? And I'm not gonna say like I've just watched every female fight ever or nothing like that. I keep it a buck. But they have a real big opportunity. And HBO seems to have this old school, old fashioned staff and or way of thinking. And everything I said there was actual fact. It took 45 years for them to air and televise a female fight. So, Boxing After Dark, HBO World Championship Boxing, they had never until this year with Cecilia Brækhus, Cinco de Mayo weekend on the Gennady Golovkin versus Vanes Martirosyan card. That is the first time they have televised a female fight. Showtime had, I don't know when they started, but I know Clarissa Shields has been on Showtime multiple times. So I know they've had her because she has multiple belts now. So I know Showtime has been on the board longer than HBO. Now, the thing that doesn't make sense is HBO is suffering right now. I don't know about as a network, but in terms of boxing, their schedule is being overtaken by much greater fights, higher quality, quantity fights. The guys that they primed on their network and said were the best really weren't the best or weren't what they advertised. Sergey Kovalev just got knocked out by an underdog, and that's why people call it upset with the leader Alvarez. Chocolatito, they said he was number one and he got knocked out. Now he's fighting on Canelo, Triple G, 2 undercards, stuff like that. So not saying these guys aren't good fighters, but they weren't as billed, You look at Showtime and some of the people they're praising, the Errol Spences. You look at who ESPN is praising, guys like Lomachenko. He does have one loss, but he's grown from that loss and he looks very hard to beat. Terrence Crawford, undefeated, stuff like that. And the problem with HBO, I don't have any problem with any networks, but I call it like I see. HBO, they have something and then they don't, in my opinion. They almost take it for granted. So I want to know if HBO is even in the boxing business. Are they just only going after the sure shot, the Canelo versus Golovkin 2s and stuff like that? Because that's it's not enough to appease boxing fans, because even if you have an HBO subscription, you would still have to pay a pay-per-view fee, which I heard is going to be almost $90, like $84.95, $89.95, somewhere in that neighborhood for Canelo Triple G. So they raised the price on us, right? And even if you had a subscription to HBO, that wouldn't cover this, right? And instead of including and making this a triple header, since it's already on the card, they're just not airing Heather Hardy's fight. And I think Heather Hardy, in terms of entertainment, she has a good style. Like, I've watched her Bellator fight. I mean, obviously that's MMA, but she was leaking, bleeding, look, I'll show you guys the picture. This is the picture. Look at her face. Showed tremendous heart, right? In that loss in the Bellator, and if you watched her fights, the first fight with Shelly Vincent was a tough fight, that's why it was a majority decision. So, I mean, we got to start giving these women credit too. And I just feel like, what is HBO doing in terms of who they have staffed? Like, you got Harold Letterman, and Jim, he's saying whatever with the scorecards. Jim Lampley is constantly being corrected by Roy Jones. You don't have a massive calendar. You already have the camera crew in attendance for 2 other events. You couldn't just, hold a block of time and show the Heather Hardy fight. I don't know how many rounds it is. Maybe it's 12 rounds. I don't know how long it is, but it's pretty. That's pretty shitty. That it really feels like it's the 1900s over at HBO. Like, you can't give the women no shine. Like, it's like pulling teeth to get female boxing on there. Your Showtime has already jumped on board, and different people, and you see these girls. There's a lot of females. Maricela Cornejo, Raquel Miller, Clarissa Shields. There's a lot of females on the Christina Hammer. There's a lot of girls coming up. Heather Hardy's one of them. A lot of females coming up right now, and HBO's not doing really anything to support the movement. Yes, they put Cecilia Brækhus on there. I think she was supposed to be on the Canelo Triple G 2 undercard, but they couldn't find an opponent, so they took her off. And now they have a Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Daronchenko. Instead of making a third fight for boxing fans and letting them be the judge of it, they're just not airing it. Like, for what? Why not? The more the merrier. You need to be, in my opinion, HBO got to do something. They need to be adding as many fights as they could, because especially Al Heyman, when it comes to Al Heyman, he's loading it up. One of the fights I covered was Adrian Broner versus Jesse Vargas. On that card, you had Jamal Charlo versus Hugo Centeno in the final WBC eliminator at middleweight. You had Jesus Cuellar, former champion at featherweight, moved up because he had trouble making weight, and he fought against Gervonta Tank Davis in the title fight on top of Broner Vargas. So that's not even including, like, sometimes they'll throw like a Richardson, Hitchens, and other people on the undercard, right? That's just the televised portion. And you have Heather Hardy, who she earned her stripes. She's a warrior for sure. And they're not adding her fight. It just, to me, is their HBO. Look, the only thing they're showing is pretty much the Canelo Triple G card. This is all Canelo Triple G card. Look, they have no programming. Look how long this is when Kovalev got stopped, August 4th. Look, where's their programming? These are all fights that have passed. Meanwhile, you got Showtime, and Showtime, they have upcoming fights to look forward to. Wilder Fury is supposed to get announced, but even sooner than that, you have fights like Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter. That's a 50-50 pick'em fight. So I just feel like HBO, they definitely need to do better. Start showing these women some love too. We see the fellas always scrap. I think Heather Hardy has earned it, right, in terms of boxing. This is her record as a boxer, 21-0. It's a championship fight. Fuck it. She's a warrior. Why not show it? Some fellas like her, the way she looks and stuff. And she gets all dolled up. I mean, this is her opponent. It's the rematch from the look it. The rematch of the 2016 Female Fighter of the Year for the WBO title, and it isn't being televised. You know what I'm saying? It's a rematch. It's an easy sell to me because it's a rematch. You could just do the fighter meeting, slap some clips. Like, I shouldn't have to tell HBO how to run. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know who Bob Arum was right, it feels like. He was like criticizing Peter Nielsen or whoever, the decision making at HBO, and it's really questionable. It's really questionable. You got this undefeated female fight. It's a rematch. So like I said, you could easily string together some of the action clips from their first encounter, if it's Showtime or whatever, see if you can borrow it and get the rights for it. Also, like I said in my description, Heather Hardy, when she was in Bellator doing an MMA fight, the Shelly Vincent chick pulled up on her at the weigh-in and confronted her. So, you can ask Bellator for those clips. It's an easy fight. See, here it is. There's where she ran up on her, and the security had to pull her back. You could throw together a little thing showing this clips and televise it. This is the first fight. It's a title fight. Why not? Your camera crew's going to be there. She's a warrior. HBO, like I said, they should really be trying to televise as many fights as they can. And they're not. They're making a double header with Machado. I don't know. I just don't understand the decision-making process. You could have 3 title fights and it's already on the card. She's already going to be fighting there, Oh, she looked good right there. Why not? You know what I mean? And advertise as that. Eddie Hearn's talking about it's a triple header, and then she corrected him talking about no, it's not. It's just, I can't understand who's making executive decisions with HBO Sports. And I think HBO is getting to the point where they got to decide, do you even care about boxing anymore? Like, do you want to, or are you only going to put together massive fights that you can acquire? Like if you can get Tony Bellew versus Usyk or Canelo versus Triple G. And I don't even know if they would be able to get Bellew Usyk because Eddie Hearn's kind of doing his own thing with DAZN. So I don't know. I just don't know what the thought process is for HBO and the future for their boxing program, because right now they're getting stomped and stepped on by the competition. Go ahead and leave a comment. We need a petition to get Heather the Heat Hardy's fight on HBO. And that's more the merrier for boxing fans. You turn on the TV, instead of turning it on at, 6:30, you turn it on at 6. And it'll give people a chance, oh, boxing's on, cool. And start watching. You already got the camera crew, everyone, the fight's going on regardless of if they televise it or not. It just doesn't make sense. And these females need more help than the guys because they're not getting proper exposure. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.